Alright, 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 alright. Hey, listen. Can I get a hey, listen? Hey, little Rib, how's it going? What up, yo? Okay. Golden ticket Monday. Boom. Is golden ticket a word or two words? Golden ticket, golden ticket. Must be two. Good morning, Orion. How's the beard growing business? Lurib, I was alone with my daughter. My wife was in Florence with our son, so my midsummer celebration consisted of a couple of beers and Destiny 2. That was about it. I didn't do anything more than just really relaxing. Um, but you gotta have one of those now and then as well, right? Um, Especially, as I mentioned before, I have kind of mostly stopped drinking alcohol, only on special occasions. So it was nice to have a few beers. How was yours, by the way? Hey, Eric, how's it going? The hair is gone. My hair? The beard? No, it's still there. And the hair is still there. It's still there. It's just groomed. Hey, Tormund, how's it going? Hey, Cameron. Oh, thank you. Kirill, how's it going? Captain Balsar, lone wolf, and you're the wolf pack, one-man wolf pack. Glad to have you here, man. Blue Rib, one too many? Most likely. You're twice uncle today. Fantastic. Congratulations, Kirill. Hey, Georg. 1 second. My daughter is home. Lots of herring. Yeah, man, I should have bought herring. I completely missed that. Double rainbow. Double rainbow all the way. Alright, let's start a timer. Hey, Bruno Romanos. How's it going? So, I've been slowly working on this illustration. I've been separating the unicorn more from the background. The previous version, I felt like I was struggling with like that instant readability. I mentioned that the last time. Like now, if we zoom out, we read everything a lot better. I still have a little bit of issue on this side over here, where the guy sitting on the head, he really stands out, like really stands out, and the hand and the ear area I'm struggling with. So what I want to do, I think I'll work on that area today to try to help with readability over there. Hey Amir, how's it going? Hey Chillstrand, what up? Zealin and Algani, how's it going? Yeah. So this is 100% by the way, if anyone is interested. So it's quite high resolution, but I've hardly ever painted this zoomed in. I have at places to help define edges, but most of the work has been done zoomed out. Yeah, the canvas is pretty huge. It's not insanely huge. It's like 8,000 wide. It's not at all that massive, but it does allow me to have sharpness if I need it. Hey, Captain Boss, yeah, the pink pony. Yeah, the unicorn. Hey, Slow Wonder, how's it going? You're new? Welcome to the 30-minute warm-up show. So cheesy. God damn it. Sometimes I should just pack my bags and go away. Thanks, Amir. Yeah, I've been crawling on this painting. I wanted to take my time a little bit, um, to just not rush it and consider my choices. I could have like steamrolled the painting, but the result would have probably been something that was okay and passable in like for my standard. But what I want with this one, as it's for, you know, the golden ticket, THU, and if you win, there's a lot of people watching, and so on. So I thought, you know, like, all right, let's do it correct this time around, like more like you would if it would be for a client. I was gonna say patient. Why did my brain want to say patient? What the? Like for a client. You know, you consider all the options, you take your time, their correct amount of time, not like I've been doing for this one, just a little bit here and there, but you know, you don't rush client work, right? You do it efficient and accurate, but you don't want to send off weak work, you know. Hey Jilla, welcome. Hey Tonku. Good morning, sir. Thank you, Slow Warner. Um, it's for an art competition for, if you're familiar with THU, which is the Trojan Horse was a unicorn workshop. It's one of those, you know, like premier workshops. Um, you know, they get all the biggest names and it's quite high profile, right? So this year they're gonna be first time outside of Portugal. I think they had it on an island of Portugal. The name escapes me. Troy, maybe? Somewhere around there. And this time they're gonna have it in Malta. And usually what happens is the golden ticket, they have a competition of doing an illustration for the golden ticket. And the winner gets all expenses paid trip and hotel stay at the 5-star hotel and the workshop paid. So it's more or less like a luxury vacation, and you get to meet amazing artists and everyone that goes to the workshop. So it's like I have some spare time. I make some spare time to try to win it, right? And there's two categories. It's the professional and the student. And the student category, I think the winner also gets like portable Cintiq laptop thing, all sorts of like licenses for really useful programs, I think, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, the ArtStation hosts it. Ricky. The topic for the golden ticket is Wonderland, I think. Land of Wonder. So I was thinking, you know, I was trying all sorts of other different thumbnails and paintings on the subject and looking at other people's submissions so far. They all landed in the same category that I started sketching for. You know, like having Malta in the background and stuff like that. And it just felt a bit too literal. So I decided that because Malta, I did some research and they have a huge amount of folklore creatures, So I thought the that would be was a great segue into this direction. So now it's like a Wonderland creatures, you know. We'll see how that will go with the competition. Hey, Kohlberger, what up, man? Nice to see you. I can show you the whole thing. So there it is in all its. Oh my, you can't see it with the overlay. Let's move it up there. Here. There it is. It's getting there. It's getting there. I have like a 15 days maybe still. So I'm just gonna take it easy, noodle on it, not try to do any major changes at this point. Just try to balance it correctly. Georg, well, you're either student of the craft, you know, I think that's more put it that way, or a working professional, where you get paid to do art. Algani, that one I finished it to the extent it'll be finished. Let me see where I put it. Where did I put it? Put it. Or maybe I did a backup of it. One second, I'll take it out. Hold your horses. Calm down. You over there, not you, but you. Sit down. Calm it. Put your pants on. Ricky, yeah, absolutely. Georg, yeah, amateur versus professional, more, you know. Is this the finished one? Yeah. Alright. No, that's not what I wanted. I think this is what it ended up looking like. Nothing major. You know, it was just a quick little fun experiment. There he is, shooting some sound effects. Anyways, cheers, Algadi. Hey, Dearbird, good morning, man. Yeah, every Monday I'm going to be working on this, and then working on it offline while I'm doing normal warm-ups. Slow water. Hype. Just me on this one. I feel like I am within the borders of the within the parameters of the challenge. I just hoping that it's not too far-fetched, you know, like what's Malta to do with this. But like I said, Malta do have a huge lore of mythological creatures like giants and witches and well dwellers and all sorts of things. And there was recently a book released about it, and apparently, yeah, according to my research, Malta has always had a huge range of like mythological creatures and folklore stuff, but never really documented. Only like you know, like oral tradition of it, or not really a collected body of work around it. And some dude, I think 3-4 years ago or 5 years ago, wrote a book about all the monsters and folklore creatures like giants and so on of Malta, and put it in a book and been acclaimed. So I thought, like let's lean on that a little bit. Hey Oms, how's it going? What do you mean, Amir? Surprising amount of folk, to be honest. As in people in the competition, or what did I miss? Yeah, I mean Malta has ancient megalithical, megalithical, lithical, megalithical. Nah, old structures. Yeah, I know. That was one of my sketches also in the beginning. Like Templars have captured aliens and they're forcing them to start the unicorn. But I felt it was a little bit, I don't know, too dark. Oh yeah, Amir, yeah, yeah, exactly. Georg, yeah, the folklore is fascinating. When you look at folklore, like I have a book about Swedish folklore or Nordic folklore, about what kind of creatures they were talking about, were living, in the farms or in the forest and so on. Hey, der Verber. Hey, der Verber. How's it going? Welcome. How's it going? Where was I? Yeah, like the kind of creatures that they were saying were living in the, you know, in with the humans. It's really really fascinating. But what's most fascinating is that you see a lot of reoccurring ones, spanning across many different regions of the world. But I think like a lot of them stems from, personally I think a lot of them comes from the the survival principle of humans, and how we have been through the times, being forced to stay alive through, like a tiger. If we hear a rustle in the bushes, our body gets ready, like, what's that? Don't eat me type reaction, right? Um, and I think because of that behavior of us having to have to survive in nature for a long time, a lot of innate behavior has been switched to autopilot. Like we are afraid of the dark. It's like we can't sit and rationalize that constantly, because it's gonna take up too much effort from our end, right, in the brain. So the brain has just connected those kind of things to our subconscious. Like it's like on running on autopilot. Like if you see maybe in the dark you see something moving, oh shit, I should be afraid of that, whatever that is. Doesn't matter what it is. It's like, oh, there's something in the dark. My eyes are not very good in the dark. Let's try to survive here. And you can see a lot of those creatures and stories pan across many different civilizations, or areas, locations, because it's like an innate behavior in our brains. So that's what I think. Like a lot of these boogeyman, in the dark type thing. It just comes from our brain. Yeah, I drew another one. By the way, he's sitting and doing the rock and roll sign over here. He's like, yeah, woohoo, all right. Hey, witch's hour. How's it going? Rick. Yeah, man. Is that your nose, or you're just happy to see me? What? Makes no sense. Bruno Romanos, yeah, absolutely. And there's always, like in folklore, this succubus, like this entity that sits on you and like weighs you down and takes your energy when you're sleeping, and you can't move. She has you in her power, but that's like sleep paralysis, uh, and that doesn't mean like we can do the Occam's razor, right? That there is this entity that sits on you when you're sleeping and constricts you from moving, and she sucks your energy, and she is existing. Or we're using the Occam's razor, like the path of least resistance most likely will be true, right? So either that, the monster, or that your brain is just misfiring and you're panicking and you're in a state of half sleep, half awake. you know, what path would most likely be the true one, right? I'm voting for half awake state. A loyalty potato. What a nickname. How's it going? Welcome. But that being said, a lot of people experience it, and because you're half asleep, your your mind wanders. So naturally, you're gonna and it's dark, and your brain switches on like, oh, it's dark in here. I should try to survive. Oh, what's this sensation? And it just misfires, right? And then someone sees something, and then it's like, oh yeah, yeah, I felt that too, and then all of a sudden this creature is born. And in Swedish or Nordic folklore, we call it Mara, and I think that's where the nightmare comes from. Mare, she sits on you and sucks your energy. Tomko, yeah, there we go. She's real. I shouldn't be working on that area. I should be working on this area. Derbard, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that sensation is innate in our body. So the fact that it occurs naturally is going to have some story behind it, right? When you from the days where you don't understand what's happening, right? The same with like water, like, oh yeah, don't go into water, you'll drown, like the creature of the lagoon, or or in Nordic folklore, there's this Necken. He plays music and enchants you to go into the water and drown, right? And then he eats you. Uh, and he's like a violin player, and you get spellbound by his music, and you drown. And those kind of things occur in different story places around the world as well, like water. Like, don't mess with water, or the water creature will get you. You know. Loch Ness. Yeah. But that's what's awesome with folklore, like reading up on it, and you can glimpse into their world of, you know, what they thought about things through the times, and they have gathered these stories, and now you can read them of what they were thinking, and so. Ricky, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. Vodnik. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I read like the way to break Nicken's spell is to throw a rock into the water, uh, and without a splash. You can't have the splash of the rock. So naturally, as a young man, I've practiced throwing a rock without a splash into the water, and I've mastered the technique. If I ever need to save anyone from Nicken, by the way, I'm the guy you should call. Come running with my non-splash rock throwing skills. And what's cool with Nordic ones as well is like they have a emphasis on trolls, and like you should put a silver spoon in the cot of the baby, um, so that because there's a lore about kids, like troublesome kids, right? And it's called a bortbytling, like exchange student, more or less. But the trolls come and switch your baby with a troll baby, and you bring up the troll baby. That's why it's obnoxious, you know. So a way to stop that is to put a silver spoon in the cot. Changeling. Yeah, there we go. So I love those kind of stories. I had this book about them, and I just used to sit and read about them and imagine. I love it. It's so like perfect ammunition for a concept artist. And you could also see in like in the Nordic folklore, when Christianity came to to the Nordic countries, and all suddenly you started getting the devil, you know, stuff like that. In contrary to like the witches, right? The witches in conjunction with Christianity created this weirdness, which is really interesting to read about as well. I mean, I almost spat the coffee out. It's fun. Eric, yeah, that's true. That's true. Silver. I mean, silver though. They say that if you drink from silver, actually, you know, saying not folklore, but if you drink from silver, the silver itself, like charges the water in a specific way that's really good for you. And silver used to be in medicine a long time, way back when. Tonku, yeah. It's like, honey, why is why is Steve all of a suddenly twice the size? That, and there's loads of those kind of things. Really, really cool. And like with the witches, in Swedish folklore, they have this place called, I roughly translated, Blue Hill. I think would be, or actually maybe not. Kulla could be Blå Kulla. Kulla could be a mound or a place. Anyways, on one day of the year, all the witches congregate, and none of them can die like for 24 hours. So it's like a free for all to drink and do whatever they want. Of course, Christianity has added with the devil to that folklore, you know, because you can't fornicate freely. Which is really interesting to read, you know, how those kind of stories change with the times. You can see like pre-Christianity, post-Christianity in a lot of the folklore. I mean, really? Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. And there's a really cool on that tidbit of Christianity and Old Norse folklore, like why there's like big, hey, jail list. Welcome, thank you for the follow. There's a really interesting one about like the big boulders on fields, because in hey Lumut, in Nordic countries. Thanks for the follow, Lumot. Um, really interesting about, you know, there's lots of granite in the Nordic countries, massive rocks, and on big fields there's always like big granite rocks from the melting of the ice caps or the ice age, right? And they say, like, the folklore is that the giants are angry at the church bells ringing, and they're grabbing massive rocks and throws it towards the churches, and that's why you find big rocks in the fields, you know, because the trolls are angry at the church bells. Hey Caboosin, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. All these follows is fantastic. Slow oneer. There we go. There we go. There's the power of religion affecting pre-religion or pagan word of mouth stuff. It's half pint, yeah, but it's a cool story though, nonetheless. I mean, it excites my mind thinking about that. So when I read that as a young guy, going out into the countryside, and I would see a big rock, I would like start looking for a church. Like where's the direction of a church, and I would like investigate the rocks and try to calculate like what would be the path they would fly, you know. But obviously, it's not the reason why they're there. It's because they came with the ice of the latest ice age, and the ice melted, all that stuff. But fun. Well, I loved it as a kid. Georg, yeah, do that, man, and you got yourself a follower. All right. I think that area improved. I know it's not a lot of changes, but it jars less now. Now, when we zoom out, it's starting to read together and less choppy. What I think I gotta do though is on this earlobe area, I need a stronger rhythm, like something more. maybe something more like that. It looks a bit odd. Ah! Damn it. Anyways, I'll figure that out later. All right. Bible stories. Yeah, it's also stories. Yeah, thanks for joining. Let's see who's online. She's painting a cat. She's all friendly and all, but I don't know if I want to have a look at a cat. Tits and ass. Tits and ass. Smashes commissions. That looks pretty cool. That style looks kind of interesting. That borderline, that looks pretty cool. I have no idea how to write that though. That's me. That looks pretty cool. Alright, let's raid that person. Raid Beth. Oh, that's good. A girl. Alright, have a great day everyone. Thank you everyone for joining in and having a talk, and thank you all for the follows. Much appreciated. See you guys for tomorrow morning, where we're gonna do new character design. Be ready. Something you can be tomorrow. Be a bit early because I'm gonna start asking for topics, then I'm gonna roll the dice and do it. Bye everyone. Thanks all for coming. I really like you guys. Bye.